This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Friday, the 23rd of June. I'm Michael Groff. The excessive heat warning continues here in the valley through Monday night at 8 p.m., so that will be with us all weekend long. But what about a change in our weather? Are we going to start to see some moisture come in here? Do we have a chance of rain? How about some cooler temps? Let's talk about it all as we look outside this morning here at 4:40 a.m. The first thing you notice when you step outside this morning, it's a little bit sticky out there. 88 degrees right now at Sky Harbor. The dew point has jumped up to 57. Relative humidity, 36%. The winds are light. The barometer is steady. Across the area this morning, some clouds across northern Mexico, some leftovers from last night's convection again, and that is sending some higher humidity here into southern Arizona. Here's the watch warning map. The two big headlines out there, the heat extending from the southern plains, heat advisories, San Angelo up to Dallas, Fort Worth, El Paso, Midland, through much of New Mexico, Arizona, southern Nevada, California, all the way up into the Pacific Northwest coast, Seattle, Washington, a heat advisory for this weekend. They're expecting temperatures to get up to near 90 degrees, which doesn't sound like much to us, but for them, that's a major heat wave. Elsewhere across the country, it's flash flood watches, and they extend from eastern Louisiana and Arkansas through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, all the way up to the Ohio River Valley. Some flash flood warnings this morning in parts of Arkansas and earlier in Mississippi. Right now, the good news is no tornado watches or warnings on the board, but maybe later today with the remnant circulation of Tropical Storm Cindy. On the convective outlook, a slight risk of severe storms in some of those same locations today, from around Birmingham, Alabama to Chattanooga, all the way up to Cincinnati. And the marginal risk extends up through much of New York State and into northern New England, up to the Canadian border. Another marginal risk from parts of New Mexico through Texas and Oklahoma. And let's get into the specifics of our weather. And to do that, we'll take a look at the models. We'll see what's going on. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. Same old story here in the southwest. High pressure sitting on the Arizona-New Mexico border. A bit of extra moisture has snuck into the state, and we'll certainly feel that with the higher dew points today, higher humidity values, especially this morning. But otherwise, mostly sunny skies and highs 109 to 112 this afternoon. With the added moisture, we're just still not looking at much in the way of an uptick in shower or thunderstorm activity because the atmosphere is still capped in the mid-levels. So no real chance for significant storm development. An isolated shower or storm possible in the eastern part of the state today, but any thunderstorms that develop mostly will just produce gusty winds and lightning, and that's news we don't want to hear. Tonight, clear and warm, lows in the low 80s to near 90. Tomorrow, again, mostly sunny, a bit warmer with high pressure continuing to sit almost right on top of us. Highs 112 to 115. Of note here, a surface boundary will be across the southern plains and against the Continental Divide, trying to backdoor its way into the southwest states. And with that, the focus of a few isolated showers and thunderstorms from parts of New Mexico through the Sierra Madre and perhaps along the eastern border of our state. But we're going to stay dry here in the valley. Sunday, same thing. Highs 112 to 115. It'll be hot. But a few more showers and storms could be possible. The European is actually even trying to suggest that we could have isolated showers and storms here in south central Arizona. I don't think that's going to happen, but a bit more numerous will be the coverage for the White Mountains, the eastern rim, and the southeastern corner of our state. Then Monday, the ridge slowly starts to break down. All the moisture should still stay to our east, maybe slightly higher dew points, but otherwise, high temperatures back down to around 107 to 110. This should be the end of our excessive heat warning, because by Tuesday, we start to see troughing digging into the northern and central Rockies, and the flow aloft begins to turn more westerly as high pressure sinks down to the south. The heights come down a bit, highs 105 to 108. Wednesday, the moisture doesn't go very far away, but it'll stay out of the state for the most part. We see the monsoon moisture starting to set up across the Sierra Madre. That's a good sign. We just need something to fling the door open and let that to come in here into the southwest states, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Westerly flow here on Wednesday. Highs again around 104 to 107. Same for next Thursday. And then this is a week from today, Friday, the 30th of June, the last day of the month. High pressure is sitting across northern Mexico. That's not going to allow any moisture in here. And high temperatures, if this verifies, around 104 to 107, which is pretty typical for late June. Here's Saturday, the 1st of July. High pressure still sitting right over the southwest. No big changes here. Highs 105 to 108. The sky mostly sunny. And then this is the end of the forecast period, Sunday, July 2nd. And high pressure is starting to move into a more favorable position across western New Mexico. Perhaps the flow aloft starts to turn more southerly or southeasterly with time. And this might be the point where we start to see some monsoon moisture get introduced to the southwest. But this is still very far off, and a lot can change between now and then. The subtle features of the monsoon certainly have a way of surprising us this time of year, that's for sure. But all signs are starting to point in that direction ultimately. Taking a look at temperatures through the period off the European ensemble. The only problem with the ensemble guidance this time of year, the temperatures generally tend to be a little bit too low. The European is biased a little bit lower on our temperatures overnight, and it has lows down in the 70s. I don't think it's going to be quite that cool in the mid-city. Some spots will certainly see that, but otherwise, these look pretty good. Highs trending down by the start of next month, down to about where they should be, 105 to 107, somewhere in there. And maybe an uptick in humidity and chances of storms coming in here sometime during the first week or so of July. And that's about where we should be. And that'll do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. Our next video scheduled back here Monday morning. If we have some unsettled weather to talk about this weekend, we'll certainly provide video updates. Have yourselves a safe weekend, everybody. See you next week.